Good afternoon. Welcome to Castillo de San Marcos National Line. And I'm Ranger Steve. I don't know if you all know this or not, but y'all walked across that bridge earlier today. Y'all were walking into a time machine. This time machine will take you back to 1740, where you're going to learn some of the secrets to this sport's success and invincibility. But before we go there, a couple safety notes. The Castillo just recently celebrated its 351st birthday. Now, the Castillo's made of coquina. You guys remember what's coquina made of? Y'all remember? Shells, millions and millions and millions of little dead seashells. Anytime someone touches one of these walls, sits on it, leans on it, stands on it, a few of those dead seashells fall out. A little bit of the fabric of history is lost forever. This sport won't be here when y'all come back with your kids, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren. Won't be here for our fort's 451st birthday. So for your safety as well as for the preservation of the fort, we ask, please don't sit, lean, or stand on these historic walls. Once you get to these walls, those little dead seashells fall out, they won't be there for your grandchildren. Also, the guns you'll find around the fort are historic, but they're dangerous. So please don't sit on the guns. We are going to fire 2 of our guns for you today. Just before we fire each gun, we'll yell. They will be extremely loud when we fire them. So just before we fire, we're going to yell for y'all to cover your ears. At that point, make sure small children do have their ears covered. If you have any service animals, make sure they're ready for that blast. If you have any hearing aids, everybody want to think about turning those down, you can turn them off. Once again, just before we fire these guns, once again, we will do 2 separate shots. Just before we fire these guns, we'll yell for y'all to cover your ears. Make sure small children do have their ears covered at that point. Now, when the drill is over, both the guns are safe and secure. We'll drop a couple of these ropes up here. Y'all welcome to come up at that point, talk to our soldados, get a picture taken with them if you like, ask any questions you may have. So once again, for your safety as well as the preservation of the fort, please don't sit, lean, or stand on these historic walls or the guns. Also, just before we fire, we're going to yell for y'all to cover your ears. Make sure small children do have their ears covered at that point. Now, we will be firing 2 of our 6-pounder iron guns over here. Why do you all think we call these 6-pounders? What weighs 6 pounds of these guns over here? What do you guys think? What's that? Cannonball. Cannonball, exactly, cannonball. 6-pound ball. 6-pound piece of iron, about the size of a baseball. Now, combat load for these guns, they would use roughly about half the weight of the ball in powder. So 6-pound ball, half the weight in powder, how much powder are we using? 3 pounds. That 3 pounds of powder will fire that 6-pound ball out about 1.5 miles out to where our lighthouse stands today. And these are the small guns in the Castillo. The larger guns, the 16, 18, 24 pounders, 32 pounders, they're going to fire their respective loads 3.5 miles out to sea, twice as far as that lighthouse. When you watch cannon firing on TV at the movies, they load those cannons and they fire those things just shot after shot after shot after shot. That's the battle drill, the cargo drill. That will be the second drill we do for you today. They're going to load those things as fast as they can and fire them as fast as they can over and over and over again. Now, it'll take about a minute, maybe 2 minutes to load and fire those things. Firing all these guns once every 1 to 2 minutes, we will run through all the powder we have in the fort here in about 1 week. Now, the Castillo is a siege fortress. In a siege, whoever starves first, whoever runs out of powder first, loses. So when we're under attack, the first thing we need to do is get word out to the next closest Spanish town that we need help. So it is 1740. The crews head on out to the next closest Spanish town. Where do y'all think they have to go? Where's the next closest Spanish town to us in those days? And I'll give you all a hint. Nowadays, it's a really big city down south. So they have a really big city down south. Where do y'all think they're going for help? Miami, you're on the right track. Keep going. Key West, keep going. Cuba, Havana. We are in for Spanish in Florida. We're going to head on down to Cuba. It will take that crew, that boat, 10 days, 2 weeks just to get there. If we're doing this battle drill, we're out of powder within a week. We will surrender before they even get to Cuba. So there's a second drill that would be done up here on the deck, the siege drill. The siege drill is a little bit slower, more dramatic, almost a dance around these guns. You'll see the soldiers, they'll be up here adjusting their hats, praying to Santa Barbara, the patron saint of Canon. They'll load these guns, then they'll sit back and wait. Watch those British guys there. We're not afraid of you people. We're in this sport. There's nothing you can do to us. We're going to take our time. We got all the time in the world. So they'll be firing these things once about every 10 to 15 minutes. So load those guns, wait, hang around for a minute, stare at those British people out there, fire them once every 10 to 15 minutes. At that rate, we have enough powder in this fort to last us for 2 to 3 months, which is about the time it's going to take for that crew to get down to Havana, for them to meet with the governor, convince the governor that Florida's in peril, for him to get the fleet, the troop supplies together, and for that fleet to sail back up, come up over the horizon behind the British. And that is exactly what happened. Each time this fort was under attack, this fort never fell during battle. Florida always changed hands by treaty. The pen is always mightier than the sword. Now there's also a third drill we do here, the training drill. If you're growing up in St. Augustine in the 1700s, you're a young man, you turned 16, you are joining the garrison. You're going to come on over here, you'll meet with the surgeon, make sure you're physically fit for duty. You'll be issued your uniform, you'll be issued your weapons. You will not be issued an operating manual because you probably don't read or write. So what you'll do, you'll come up and watch the soldiers do this training drill. Basically it's the siege drill, but even slower. They're going to do one step at a time, over and over and over again. The Crown requires their crews up here to fire to be practicing at least 3 times a week. So you'll come up here and watch the soldiers, the experienced soldiers, do this training drill over and over and over again until you feel confident that you jump on one of those positions. You'll do that. You'll do another position, another position, another position. You'll do those over and over and over again until you can do them in your sleep. You can do them during the fog of war. You can do them while the British are firing cannons back at us. And that is the secret to this fort's success. Not only the strength of the walls, the power of the guns, but the skill, the training, the discipline of our gun crews. Now myself, Ranger Joe, we're 2 of the Rangers up here. The rest of the crew are our park volunteers. They gave up their Sunday to come out here to bring history to life for you. We could not do these things in the national parks if it wasn't for the generosity of our park volunteers. So if you could please, a round of applause for our park volunteers. And also, we'd like to thank you for coming out to support your national parks, visiting Castillo de San Marcos National Monument, taking part in our 1740 Historic Weapons Demonstration. Once again, for your safety, as well as for the preservation of the fort, we have to ask, please, please, please do not sit on the walls. Once again, these walls are historic. We'll make sure everybody not sitting on the wall. They sort of wearing you out. So if you all could please make sure not to sit on the walls, please. There you go. There you go, thank you. Every time you touch these walls, a little dead seashells off. So please don't sit on the walls, please don't sit on the guns. Shots before we fire these cannons. Once again, we will have 2 separate shots. We'll be yelling for you all to cover your ears. Make sure small children do have their ears covered at that point. And when the drills are over, guns secure, we'll drop these ropes. You'll walk, come on up, have your picture with the crew. So we're going to be doing 2 drills. First drill will be that training drill. We'll be doing this one movement at a time, over and over and over again. So a very slow drill, we'll follow that with our battle drill. So thank you all again for coming out and supporting the national parks. Take part in our 1740 Historic Weapons Demonstration.
Fuego, mi capitán. Ataque door, mi capitán.
Capitán, fuego, mi capitán.
Adelante, del cañón. Percy, para el ejercicio. Bendiganos, Santa Barbara. Esto la cuchara del cañón. Regadoscan si estar cargado. Tira la cuchara. Entra la manera y tapen el fogón. Pasen la lanera al cañón. Tírenla a su lugar. Apronten el cargador y pólvora. Entra lá, né, canhão. Ataca. El atacador a su lugar. Tomen los suspectos. Dispóngase a poner en batería el cañón. Cañón en batería. Dispóngase para la punta de ella. A punta. Respectes a su lugar. Saben el Cuban Alfregón. Tomen el Barfuego. Barfuego al cañón. Alto y sopla la mecha. Cover your ears. Fuego. Para fuego a su lugar. Tomen las pelas. Dispóngase a sacar el cañón de la batería. When you're afraid of batería. Alto. Palanquines en su lugar.
As you can see, the training drill, very slow, very meticulous. Each step, one at a time. We fire, but the drill's not over. We need to be ready to fire again, so we actually have to make sure there's no sparks left in this gun. But this time we're making the cartridges down below, so we're using this worm here to make sure that all those pieces of cartridge are out, there's no sparks hidden behind it. After that, we put a wet sponge in there to make sure all those sparks are out, so it's ready to load again on the next shot.
Entra la lanada y tapa el alfregón.